Hello, I'm Michael. I'm going to describe the God of War official PC announcement trailer. This intro is about 90 seconds long. Due to the amount of dialogue and quick cuts, this will primarily be an expanded description. Kratos is a tall, fit, burly man. He has a bald head and thick brown mustache and beard with some gray hairs in it. His skin is a fading ashen white color. He has a red tattoo from his left eye down his back, and it extends over his chest and left arm. He has a scar over his right eye and a larger scar on his abdomen. His shoulder guard is brown leather with a fur trim. A Greek Omega symbol holsters a long axe to his shoulder guard. He has bandages wound on both forearms and wears a bracer on his left arm. It can turn into a large shield. He wears black leather pants and shoes. Underneath his hip wrap are the tattered remains of his Spartan skirt he wore in the original games. His son Atreus is a young boy with short brown hair. He has light blue eyes and a pale face, with freckles and some scars. He has some visible black tattoos on his arms and hands. He wears an asymmetrical long-sleeve shirt under a leather and fur tunic. He wears long black pants and boots. He has a sash tied to his waist. It's a faded red color with golden angular designs on it. It's a similar design to Kratos' loincloth from the previous games. He has a quiver of arrows and can sling his bow across his chest and back. PlayStation Studios. Kratos places his hand over a golden handprint on a skinny tree. He closes his eyes slowly.
On the day you were born, I made 2 knives.
On a stone walkway, Atreus releases a floating lantern. Santa Monica Studio.
One for myself. And when you were ready.
Kratos stares solemnly into a flickering fire. Atreus stands a few feet away and slings a bow onto his back.
One for you.
In a large dark room, Kratos clasps Atreus his hands. Behind them, white smoke emanates from a floating mask. Winner of over 190 Game of the Year awards worldwide, coming to PC.
You think I'm weak because I'm not like you.
Atreus stands on the edge of a cliff looking down at a forest and mountain range. A line of golden trees can also be seen. Kratos walks over to Atreus and stands behind him.
You do not know everything, boy.
Surrounded by white flowers on trees, a woman with long brown hair and a sword slung to her back stands near Atreus. They look at a pillar of light in the distance. Kratos walks up to them. The woman points towards the light.
No. But at least I know the truth now.
In a lush forest opening, bright blue flowers and trees with crimson leaves line a beaten path. The woman and Atreus saunter towards a large tree with similar crimson leaves. The tree rises since it's on the back of a gigantic turtle. Kratos follows behind carrying a large boar with curved tusks.
The road ahead is long and unforgiving.
The view circles around Kratos as he readies his axe. He and Atreus are in a large snow-covered stone area. In the distance, figures creep closer towards them. Kratos and Atreus look up at a large decaying troll.
No place for a boy.
In a large field surrounded by low cliffs and broken trees, Kratos and Atreus stand next to a hulking dead troll. Kratos turns away from a worried Atreus.
You must be a warrior.
Atreus has some blood splattered on his face. Kratos clasps Atreus' tear-stricken face as he blinks hard. Kratos defends himself from a muscular, barrel-chested man. The man has shoulder-length red hair and a thick red mustache and beard. He carries a medium square shield and a mace crackling with electricity. He wears a fur cape and a large round belt that protects his stomach but leaves his chest exposed. The barrel-chested man swings his lightning mace at Kratos. Kratos grabs it out of the man's hands and attempts to strike him with it. The man blocks Kratos' swing with his shield. The man drops his shield, and Kratos drops the mace and swings a punch at the downed man.
And where do you think you are going?
In front of snow-covered rocks, the barrel-chested man stands up in front of Atreus. Atreus readies his bow. Now, Atreus looks around worriedly as he readies his bow. Kratos looks around, gripping his axe in his right hand. They look around a wide-open snowy landscape. In the distance, 2 large pillars stand in front of a mountain range. Text fades in. An enthralling experience from beginning to end. Game Informer.
Long way from home, aren't you?
Kratos and Atreus look around a circular room with mounds of various objects and treasures. An orb with a faint glowing center is encased in a wooden pillar. A ring of fire circles the room.
And here I thought your kind was supposed to be so enlightened, so much better than us.
Kratos stares at a Greek vase. The vase has a painted black figure with a red streak on its chest, standing in a ferocious victory pose. The figure holds 2 jagged swords with red paint dripping off of them. It's Kratos, the ghost of Sparta and former god of war.
I know you're a god.
In a small boat, Atreus waits patiently while Kratos stands. Kratos looks at his axe as the head freezes over. He looks past a rock with runes on it and throws the axe as far as he can. Atreus turns his head to watch. Text appears. Nothing short of a masterpiece. IGN. Kratos tightens the bandages around his left arm.
Not of this realm, but there's no mistaking it.
Atreus stands at the exit of a long cave. He's staring at an erupting volcanic landscape.
He doesn't know, does he?
In a different cave, Atreus turns around. A stone pillar reflects blue light emanating from a crystal behind him. In front of that same pillar, Atreus walks past Kratos, who has a concerned expression on his face.
About your true nature? Or his own?
Atreus holds a black rock with a glowing yellow rune on it. He looks at his arms as they start to light up with more runes. Kratos and Atreus stand in a dark cavern. They watch the lighted lantern float away. Kratos has his hand on Atreus' shoulder. Kratos carries a sick Atreus. The woman touches Atreus' forehead. She rushes off with a worried expression on her face. Alone, Kratos grabs his axe as runes form over the head and it freezes over. He faces a burning zombie-like creature wielding a sword. Text appears. Combat is dynamic and gratifying. The Telegraph.
Power of this weapon comes from here, but only when tempered by this, the self-control of the one who wields it.
In front of the white mask emanating smoke, Kratos uses 2 fingers to touch where Atreus' heart is. Kratos moves his fingers towards Atreus' head. In a golden circular room with a bowl in the center, the barrel-chested man uses his lightning mace to zap Kratos. Atreus pulls out his dagger. In a snowy area, Atreus fires his bow repeatedly as a figure runs away.
Sarmamena.
On a snowy mountain pass, Kratos kneels in front of Atreus. Atreus tightens his quiver strap. Green arrows stick out of the quiver.
Like you?
No, we are not men.
Kratos grabs Atreus as they fall. Hollow columns of glowing red hives and holes crumble around them. They land on one. Atreus slides off. Kratos grabs Atreus' arm as he falls towards a platform with a column of light emanating from it.
We are more than that.
In a cavernous, rocky room, a dragon with a glowing electrical neck shoots lightning from its mouth. The lightning beam hits a faintly glowing red stone encased in tree branches. Kratos holds onto a humanoid figure's mouth. The humanoid has a pale face with a glowing pattern on the forehead. 2 downward-facing horns protrude from the side of its head. It wears light armor with exposed torso and arms. The torso and arms have thin glowing lines. The figure struggles to break free. Atreus pulls out his dagger as he hangs onto Kratos' back. He plunges the dagger into the figure's forehead.
The responsibility is far greater.
Against a bright blue sky, a colossal green and blue serpent stares down at Kratos. The serpent has a green seaweed beard and glowing orange eyes. Kratos stands holding out a severed head on a rope. The head has a red tint and 2 short curly horns on its bald head. Runes are tattooed on its head. It has a medium-length mustache and beard. Kratos limply dives into swirling clouds. Atreus holds onto his father's shoulders as his body starts to separate from Kratos's. The severed head bounces against Kratos's right hip. As they freefall, glowing tendrils of pink and purple energy start to separate the clouds. Text appears. A technical and artistic showcase. GameSpot. Now, Kratos holds onto the woman's wrist as a portal pulls her towards it. Inside the portal, bright crimson leaves are visible. She gives Kratos a knowing look as her body dematerializes. She lets go of Kratos' arm and is pulled into the portal. Kratos hangs onto a snowy cliff face as Atreus falls. Kratos reaches out his arm and grabs him. Atreus grabs onto his arm with both hands. Chunks of ice and snow rain down on them. Kratos loses his grip, and they plummet towards the jagged rocks below.
And you must be better than me.
Now, Atreus stands looking at mountains through a cloudy mist. Kratos kneels behind him and reaches his arm out towards Atreus. He pauses, and then lowers his arm as he looks away from Atreus.
Understand? We are
In an open 2-story dilapidated room, Kratos pushes Atreus behind him. 3 men with swords advance towards them.
Say it.
He will be better.
Now, in an open area, Kratos and Atreus are seen from behind. They stare up at a giant reaching towards them. The giant has a chisel through its head. The tip comes out from the right side and the handle on the left. Its eyes have a fiery glow to them. The creases on the giant's hands also glow orange. On a distant platform, a figure stands controlling the giant. Atreus and Kratos stand on a crumbling bridge looking at a circular platform below. A greenish fog surrounds them. Atreus grabs Kratos' large hand and leaps off. Kratos follows. Text appears. An epic adventure that should be experienced by every human on Earth. Easy allies. As they fall, Kratos grabs Atreus and pulls him close. Kratos expands the shield from his bracer. Smash cut to black. Fade into Kratos and Atreus looking through a foggy mountain pass. A large rock formation moves through the fog. As the fog clears, the formation is a dragon's head. Kratos and Atreus give each other a knowing look. Kratos falls through the air and slams his axe onto the dragon's head. A view of a blue sky with billowy white clouds and snow-covered mountaintops. God of War. Available on PC. January 14th, 2022.
We must be better. We must never forget them.
The Of has a painted red snake shaped like a Greek omega symbol around it. The symbol has Norse runes on it. Thank you for listening. If you have any feedback, please let me know.